So, good morning, everyone. Thank you for coming to this first session. And yes, truly, we would like to make it not a boring lecture or discussion, but we really want your input. So please don't be shy. And whenever there is some question and you would like to share your opinion, we'll be just happy to hear it. So today we are going to cover a key question. What makes a city truly successful, truly livable? Is it development? Is it investment possibilities? Is it the vibe? Is it the climate? Is it the possibilities to get the permanent residence? Or is it something else beyond it, which makes it amazing for people to stay? So in my opinion, Cyprus has already such a unique combination of factors which are not repeatable anywhere in the world, because it's fast becoming an IT hub. It shows growth in development. It's amazing vibe. It's Mediterranean style weather, beautiful and clear, clean waters in the sea. And for sure, to me, it's becoming not a little village anymore. I cannot call it a little village anymore like I could before when I came here 20 years ago. But it's a mighty little village, which is actually attracting people from all over the world, entrepreneurs, and obviously for tax reasons, for non-dom status, and for all these opportunities which Cyprus gives, together with a very important thing like the Mediterranean vibe, which gives you actually the value of everyday life. So my first question to you, Raluca, is what to you is a successful and livable city in general?
All right. Before answering the question, you allow me to welcome all those who are today here. Thank you for coming. Good morning, Kalimera. Like Elena said, get involved, ask questions, share your opinions, because the number one thing that makes a city livable and successful is every single one of us. Without us, without the humans living in it, well, we can't call it a city or a village, so it's us. And then the second one is quality of life. How do we live? And now I know for every single one of us, quality of life means something different, but I believe we all agree that the 4 or 5 main things related to quality of life are the same for all of us. A safe neighborhood, a great place that we can call home with good for energy, energy consumption, sustainability, a good neighborhood in general to know that it's a beautiful place where we can walk, we can really park and feel that we have a space, have playground for our children, have a nice park where we can walk our dog. And the third one, greeneries. And especially now, and there's a study by European Union, and 40% of the bad consumption is from the buildings, and 36 for the green emulsion is from the buildings in Europe. So definitely greenery and the help towards that for the production of oxygen, it's so important. So these are the main 3. Humans, definitely, quality of life, and greenery, as much as we can put, and especially in Cyprus, because you said Cyprus had such a beautiful mixture of everything, and we do have so many beautiful green and succulents that we can use them without too much care, but still we can feel that it's not just a lot of cement and walls, and that's it.
Now, let me mention that Raluca is living in Nicosia, but spending half of the time in Limassol, so she can share or compare the differences between the 2 cities. And Raluca is a business strategist and board advisor of company R7, advising the companies on their strategy, how to place themselves on the market.
Can I make a joke here? Like, if you ask me if I'm in the real estate, no. If you ask me if I know how to fix a stand that I will buy it and I have to do it by myself, yes. If from a strategy point of view you ask me to find different flaws, I will do that with pleasure, but I will also find beautiful things, because I was born in Romania, but I'm also a Cypriot citizen, and I live here for almost 17 years. So Cyprus is my home, and I love it. and I'm not allowing anyone to say anything bad about Cyprus. Just to make sure that we're clearing this up.
Same, I can agree with this
Yes.
word because I'm for 20 years in Cyprus. I'm originally from St. Petersburg, and I have never ever regretted a day that I've been here and chose it to be my home. So it's amazing because there are many places where you can probably get a permanent residence or where you can invest, but for example, that place will be lacking the climate or lacking the blue, beautiful sea and the vibe. Like you said, it's the people.
Yeah.
And the people of Cyprus are actually, if you compare to all the other countries in the world, are very hospitable and very inviting to the foreigners.
Yes.
And where else in the world you can come and immediately start speaking English or even
And feel like home.
Russian for Russian-speaking big society, which is here in Cyprus.
Yes.
So can you agree that Limassol is now becoming a second Manhattan? Little scale Manhattan of Cyprus.
Well, I will agree with your point that it's developing a lot. I disagree with becoming the second Manhattan because we go back with what we agree. We love Cyprus and we love Limassol. So we don't want a second Manhattan. We want a Limassol that is even better than Manhattan.
Agree.
Do we agree with that? We don't want to copy, and because we have the coastline and we have all the improvements and the huge projects that are happening now. It's so important to acknowledge all this and to realize that, yes, it's so beautiful and what's happening. Sorry?
Hi.
Yes, hi.
If somebody wants to
Yes.
to agree or disagree that it's becoming in Manhattan, you are welcome to share.
Okay, I was just talking to my friend here. Maybe when I say something, I will read my...
Okay.
Yeah, so it is developing a lot and it's becoming very complex because we have a lot of Forex companies and it's becoming kind of a tech hub, but there's also a lot of improvement towards the maritime part and what is building. And we also know that the biggest events, the biggest conferences, the biggest forums like the one today, like a few others that are happening in Limassol. So I do agree that Limassol might be right now the number one in Cyprus as related to developments and the long-term possibilities.
What is happening in Nicosia in this regard?
Well, Nicosia is developing, but we can't actually compare two of the cities. Number one reason, we don't have the sea. So we already are losing, so it's a -1 here. But
I mean, technical development-wise.
Yes. It's developing, and let's not forget that it's the place to be in a way that we have all the institutions, we have all the embassies, we have the government there, we have the presidency. So it is a city that we do have to consider. And I would always recommend someone, like some of my clients, if they want to open a second office, I'll definitely tell them, if you're in Limassol and you have the possibility, do it in Nicosia, because everything is there.
It's a capital.
It is the last divided capital in Europe. But it's the capital, yeah. So a lot of the pulse kind of is taken there. So any governmental or the majority of the governmental events and policies and things are happening in Nicosia. We also have the main universities, the schools, and the hospitals. But we also have the other part that is underused, the old city. Like here, Sarepolo, which is very beautiful, and Tepak took it for the university, and new people came, and new buildings were built, and you walk, compared to 10 years ago or 15 years ago, it's improved and it looks better, and you love walking there and enjoying. Like, you don't want to take the car, you just want to cross the marina and go and walk and enjoy. The old city in Nicosia, Faneromeni, all these places for those living in Nicosia or for those knowing, it's underdeveloped. There are a lot of parts that need a lot of work and improvement, and also find ways how to bring people. For instance, Macariu and Platia Eleftherias, which you build it, people are not walking. Why? Because you build something that in the winter it's cold and in the summer it's too hot. So some things should be maybe more researched. For this,
you're partly starting to answer my next question. It's like, it's like what actually is missing right now. So Limassol is developing fast, but what is still missing? And if this fast developing can actually negatively influence the people who want to live and stay and use the city for living, not for those who use it for investment and...
That's a great question. Thank you for that. And yes, when growth is too fast without research, and now the strategists will talk because I'm always with planning and research and feasibility studies and infrastructure research and all this, it's very important to know that when we grow too fast without researching, we might lose. And many times we're just seeing a plot, let's say, talking about real examples. Let's build a building here. How about thinking a little bit different? Not thinking about, let's build one more building here, but think what this city or what this community or what this place needs and build accordingly. So we still build the building, but we'd offer a little bit more to the society and to the community around. Because these things are missing, like a little bit rushing, and it's very important to develop. And density is good in a city. The majority of cities that are successful are dense. Mm-hmm. But this density is happening how? Do we follow on paper, like leave the 3 meters, 6 meters between buildings? Or is just on paper and actually in reality, I own a place and I have 2 parkings in one. I can't go even with the Chinese parking by itself car. Like I can park a scooter, a bike, or a motorbike. I've tried, you can't. It's impossible. So this is a thing that is very important, like making sure that the studies that we're doing are for a success and livable city for the long run. Because people want to move and live somewhere where they feel like a home and they want to stay. And if you think also about an investment, it's also important to know how do you build and you invest. So this is one thing that is missing. And the other one, which is not missing, but I feel that we can support it more, is let's not forget the roots. And let's not forget the heritage that Cyprus has. We have a lot of beautiful things, paradousiaka, traditional. We should promote them more, and especially in old towns, old cities, we should have more small shops, small boutiques that support local craftsmen. Local producers from halloumi to kumandaria to anything. This is so beautiful, and all these unique things will definitely help, and I feel that in Nicosia, for instance, I feel that it's missing.
Well, okay, we have these traditional things mostly in the villages, which is
And you
good.
find in Limassol, the old city, a lot of small stores with art, with ceramics, handcrafted items. You find
maybe it's connected with the times that actually we are going more and more digital, and these things are going more and more back in time.
But they're not going, actually. A lot of people now, they talk about sustainable consumerism, and a lot of people want to visit a city or a country, and they want experience. So they won't book just the hotel, they will book an experience to go and visit something, even from ancient or old times.
Next question I want to ask you is what trend do you see right now, especially with the geopolitical situation changing around us? For example, me being in real estate and sales, I see now a trend like, for example, people from Israel are coming here to find here a safe second home. People from Europe are coming here to get themselves away from high taxes, which they see everywhere in their native countries, and use the benefit of non-dom status. And so, for example, we get a lot of requests, like normal requests to find a home for a family, let's say with 2 kids, to have the separate detached house, the swimming pool and stuff like that. And we get completely different requests, like 1- 2-bedroom apartments, which usually people from Israel see as investment. So this, in my business, this is the 2 most common requests right now. What do you see as a now trend?
Well, if I will talk about this, even though with everything that is happening geopolitical, even trends and what's happening is shifting exactly like the petrol barrel. Like today is like this, in 5 seconds it's different. So trends are shifting a lot.
That's the beauty of life, and you need to feel the vibe.
Yes, and I love that. And let's not forget the biggest businesses, the biggest successes that happened were during unfortunately, during pandemic, wars, and this kind of crisis. So I do agree with what you said, and from some of my collaborators, these are the two main requests. There's also another one, big companies that they came here. There's another request that they want like a full building or half a building to put their employees there and make sure that they have, because they don't know anyone or the siblings are not speaking the language. So they want to have them kind of together so they feel more comfortable. And from my point of view, I have clients from abroad that they want to come here for the tax regime, for the non-dom, for the
Safety.
for safety, of course, and for the tech part, which offers a good place, like a tech hub. It's safe, it's quiet, good weather, except this year. But let's not go there. So these are the main things that I see. So basically this and investment. But mainly for me, from some of my clients and the people that I work from abroad, we talk more about investment in lands and specific areas, and not necessarily apartments or houses. Like this I had like a few years ago. Now they want a lot lands or office buildings.
That's my next question to you. Is like, what has changed between what you were advising your clients, let's say 5 years ago, and what is another strategy you are advising them now, since the trends has changed?
Well, definitely one of the main things that I'm advising them is to do a good research and make sure that they collaborate with very good people, well-known, respected, because I had a talk with Eva before.
Do they usually move their assets here? Do they invest here?
Well,
do they want to apply for PR?
Yes and no. Not as much as they used to do when we had the citizenship. They start again. They are interested to move, some. Some are interested to relocate. And some, they just want to move their, not the resources, but their company, like headquarter relocation to Cyprus. Because again, good tax regime, good place, and everything is cheaper. I have clients from Germany that they say, if I stay with my business in Germany, more than half I will pay it there, but here it's a lot better and it's more convenient, plus the weather. So this is one of the things that changed, like I said, lands and this, and fear, actually. What I'm seeing now, it's a little bit of fear. Like they don't know, everything is a bit uncertain, so they want to invest, but they're not sure, so they still pull a little bit back.
Yes, we also saw that actually in our reaction of the clients for sales, for buying and for rent. People, it's not that they changed their mind and they are like, I'm not buying this anymore. They still want it, but it's like they want to feel what's going to change in the air and then only make decision to spend their money.
And actually, talking about trends, one of the trending cities right now, it's Milan, which statistically is the city in Europe with the biggest millionaires. And they go and they choose, like, even the banks, like specific places. I had the opportunity to visit a place, which, if you don't know, search for it, Milan Bosco Verticale, which Stefano Bocci, known, if I'm pronouncing correct the name, I can share more details, well-known architect in Milan, created a vertical forest. So he planted on top, I have pictures I can show those who are interested, or do a Google search, 800 trees and over around 20,000 plants, vertical on buildings, and they built in Navigi, a place which 10 years ago was known for bad things and like this, and they managed to create something so beautiful that big banks and big companies, big fours, wanted to move there. And not only that they moved there, they invested their own money to support and build the full community. So
that's interesting.
This is something like a trend that we should also have in mind, and yes, and it's beautiful. The only bad thing, not bad, but the thing is that when you buy the flat, you don't choose which trees or plants you will have on your balcony. It comes as it comes. But the good thing is that you don't have to do anything. There are people cleaning and watering the plants and pruning and everything. it's an interesting concept, and it's a trend, because you mentioned trends.
Okay, but going back to our lovable Cyprus, what shall we close in our discussion soon? What shall we say is the main reason why people who first touch the grounds and see if they can be here, what actually is this thing and thought in their mind that switches them to the idea to actually stay here, build their life, move here, and make it their home?
Well,
now.
We started...
Not 20 years ago we came, but now.
We started with one thing. We started with one thing, and I think we agree, and I want to end it like this: quality of life. So as soon as you step foot in Cyprus, you feel that. You feel the warmth, you feel the safetyness, kind of, and there's a calmness and a relaxed way that makes you feel that, I want to live here.
Do you hear from your clients, like, for example, hesitation first, and then suddenly they are like, okay, this are the reasons why I am actually staying?
Listen, very rarely I hear hesitation, because they know they've traveled here. And the funny thing is that I have clients who came here just for holidays, and then they decided to buy and have a place here to come again. And then they said, okay, why not open a company here? Why not finding ways to collaborate with Cyprus? So
mostly, where are they from? The recent ones.
Israel, Lebanon.
What about people who used to be in Dubai? Are they also moving now because of the situation?
Not that I know of, no. And Dubai is still playing hard, like you can't sell right now, even though the market fell, and they will be fast at going back to where they were.
And like I said already, we see in real estate, in the agencies and development companies, we see the trend of people from Europe coming more and more here because of safety. And because Cyprus is an island, so it makes it a little bit more difficult for refugees to come here. And in many cities of Europe, it's becoming a real problem with safety, and governments cannot do anything anymore. So Cyprus, in this regard, is still very beneficial.
Yes.
So I hear this from the clients.
True.
That this is one of the reasons, safety. Another one is, of course, taxes. Another one is
360 days of sea.
The sun. Because the more mature you get, you actually understand that you cannot feel healthy in the stone jungle, but you will definitely be healthy, and your kids will grow healthy in a small place where in 10 minutes or 15 minutes you can get to the sea. In your case, 45 minutes, because you're from Nicosia.
Yes.
but still, the distances are very small.
Yes.
It's not
and
like
we have good highways.
Huge mainland Europe where you need to drive several hours of flight. So these are the reasons that actually make Cyprus livable, and in particular, I believe any city of Cyprus is livable.
True.
But every city has its own portrait, let's say. So,
and that's the beauty of it.
Limassol is maybe posh and active and socially active, and a lot of
the luxury
and
expensive
companies that open here their offices. Nicosia is more for also for business but also government. Yes. What do you know anything about the Paphos vibe right now? Because I've heard that the prices also gone up.
The prices are going up. There was a lot of investment from UK and China. Paphos it's known for that, like you want to retire, you want to go to your calmness and more of a wildlife, you go to Paphos. So from what I know is this one, and I do know personally some people from Lebanon who wanted and they bought and invested there, which is good. And Larnaca is
loved
also
by Lebanese, British,
mainly British and
Germans,
and Chinese.
And Larnaca is Israelis.
Israelis, and this is what I know. Israeli mainly. But I see that it's developing a lot and it's becoming also a beautiful city.
Okay, so does anybody...
And the good thing is that for a foreigner, just to add up with what you said, for a foreigner that comes here, it's good that you have all these opportunities, but you also have different schools because they are a big society, the Russian society, the Lebanese society, and the French-speaking, the Romanian.
The huge Israeli school is being
so
built.
you have schools in the language, and you have the embassies that are willing to help, and you have different places and even local and traditional restaurants. And for Greek people as well. So it's good because you come and you feel in a way that I don't have to kind of start everything
feel
from
welcome.
zero. I already have some bases and I have people and associations willing to help me. And this is very good.
So we found out that all these things make actually Cyprus very livable and successful city
Yes.
for living. So shall we ask?
Yes.
Yes.
One thing that I took away is that you're emphasizing the green factor in developments.
Is that, I think I don't need it. Hello, 1, 2.
Yes.
Is that the green factor is a big deal? Right. Okay.
With all the cars and with what's going on, and we still need a lot of work towards electric cars and infrastructures for all this. We need, because we live with air and it's polluted, and we also have a lot of dust in Cyprus. So as much green as we have around is definitely something that helps not just us, but let's not forget the next generation that are coming, and we should be aware of those as well.
I agree with you 1,000,000%. And you know, when people first land in London and they fall in love with it, they don't actually realize it's the green they fall in love with. But that's
True.
a separate subject. So one thing that I'm not sure how the market reacts to the green factor is that you need to mandate a service charge, and that's a rather new thing for the Cypriot market. And I don't know how happy people are in paying it, whether they're in the property or not property.
Well, French people are known that every time, thank you very much for...
You
for,
didn't introduce yourself and nature of business you're in.
Yes.
It would be interesting or helpful to know.
Maybe you connect and why not you collaborate?
My name is Michalis. I work with global construction companies, and I'm a startup developer in Limassol.
Great. So, to answer to that, French are known that every single time something was built, they were out there complaining, disagreeing, they destroy the city, and then they live with that. This is a mentality that if we change, we realize that there are ways, so we don't have to pay in that way. There is a cost, but you prefer the small cost now for something that can be, again, with a lot of things that we have in Cyprus, like greeneries and plants, or the later cost for our health and for our children and all that. But, because you made a very good point, except cost, there's also one more thing. We build greeneries, and there are the rules that we have to follow, like having a green place on the buildings you build, but they end up being very small, and nobody takes care of those. Or we plant other plants that they don't work with Cyprus, they're not okay for the environment and the conditions, and they're like, well, we tried. Let's try a little bit harder. We have a lot of succulents, we have, again, a lot of plants that now with all the bit of rains that we had, we saw so many greens and so many beautiful things, and we're like, why we're not using those?
So maybe at some point we will have a little tax for air and for greenery.
Well, there was a video circulating with a small tree hanging behind your back and you use it. We don't want there to go,
Which
right?
will be added to GESI and social insurance.
Yes. Let's cut some other things. Like if you put solar panels, we build a building that offers solar panels, so we have less consumption on that. We add a little bit cost of something that is green and it's also beautiful and it's healthy. At the end of the day, the cost is basically the same or similar. Now, we can talk about numbers if you want, but if there's a will, there's always a way. We don't say to go to vertical and have 20,000 of plants and know that you pay maybe 2,000 per month. No, talk about simple, easy things. That if we live in a society, like I don't mind in the place that I live in, it's like a residential place, to go and get the leaves and the things that are not okay or cut to leaves. No one will die from this. And I live there, I want to see it when I go. So yes, good point.
Okay, thank you for your question.
Thank you, Mihaly.
And the last thing to you, actually, last question, Raluca, is how you think is it possible to keep the balance between fast developing, like in Limassol, everybody's building, constructing, and still keeping the city livable and nice and good for locals and for actually foreigners that choose to live here, because the more is being developed, and right now we know that everybody became a developer suddenly, bought a piece of land and built something and
it's
selling it, yes, and it's called a developer. So where is this fine line and a balance between developing a lot and still being good for people?
Something should come from the government and from the municipalities and some from the developer, and we should find like joint forces and try to understand that when we build, again, like I mentioned, why are we building here and what's the reason why we do this and what we have to offer. And if we think about taking one city, Limassol, I want Limassol to be known for what? What type of clients I want to have in Limassol, what type of tourist I want to have in Limassol, what type of investment I want to have in Limassol. So if I think about this and I make few questions and I answer to those questions and I do some feasibility studies and some research, I will find out, like, this is the balance, like asking the right question and deciding what I want to get out of that city and what I want that city to offer to ourselves and to the next generations that will come and live here, regardless of locals or foreigners.
What was my point is, for example, for us as people who are selling real estate, it's good to sell a lot. For foreigners that are buying for investment, it's good to invest. For those who apply for permanent residence, it's also good to buy. But for example, for local people, for Cypriot people, how do they see this process? How do they react on this? Is it sometimes maybe annoying for them that there's such a big activities going on? Because we do hear this kind of...
I know, but it wouldn't be fair for me to answer to this, because I will say this. Every single one is allowed to have an opinion. And if you love your country and your place, you protect it. And sometimes this protection might be by getting pissed. Excuse, but this is a word. You might get pissed because they build a lot and you don't have space. Like now they are building behind my building and I'm making a joke saying that, oh, very good. Soon, if I run out of flour or sugar, I don't need to go down. I'll just say, hi. I do the hand like this from my window. They do like this and I'm getting my sugar. Am I happy about it? No. Can I change it? No. But I can change my reaction and my attitude toward that. And when it's ready, see which are my neighbors and how we can make the community I live in even nicer and better. We will always find ways to complain. We will always find ways to, but if we're careful with how we build and we care about the people that lived there for years and we just ask them a few questions or try not to just push you like this, I do believe we find ways, but...
We have a question from a gentleman there.
If there's time.
Of course, yeah.
Do we have time?
Yes, we have time.
Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Simon.
Hi, Simon.
All right. Good morning. My name is Simon. I'm representing investors from Germany. I moved 1 year ago to Paphos. So first of all, I want to say I only have good things to say about Cyprus. And also I want to mention it could be great to copy the good things also from Manhattan and to make them great also in Cyprus, yeah, to stay open for that. My question is, with all the demand for good food, because food, healthy food, local grown food was one reason for me to move to Cyprus. And what are your thoughts about providing non-GMO healthy food in long term for the higher demand? And also, I'm coming from Berlin. In Berlin, they push the cars out of the city, and now they don't think about the movement of parents with their child. They are not able to drive with a fancy e-bike or something like that. Yeah, my question is providing food in long term, non-GMO, healthy food, local grown food, and also new transportation spaces, safe parking space for e-bikes, all this stuff. Thank you.
Well, I'm a big fan of this, so I am sure we won't have time to go, but we can take after we finish here the session, because I'm a big believer and I'm very careful with how I live, and my car is hybrid and what I eat, so I'm 100% no GMO, and I believe in everything, bikes, cars. It is something that it's in the process, because I buy local products and I go to specific persons that they do their own just to make sure, and I will make them crazy asking a lot of questions what they use and if they spray something and when they spray, and they will say like we have to. But it's in the process and we're going, and what I like is that even from a governmental point of view, the groceries and all these, like when we talk about food, it's recommended and pushed in markets and everything. And there's also something that was built by the Deputy Minister of Tourism a few years ago, that every single tavern, every single place, like from stores, grocery stores, restaurants, taverns, and hotels that were using local, as healthy as possible products, you could find them there. So if you go into the Deputy Minister of Tourism, if you don't know, I don't remember the name, if it's like not Eyes of Legends, My Heritage something, and you find every single place that they was able to register, that they have local products, they put on the tables for their clients like this. But let's be honest, I want to be honest, it's a long process. It won't change in a day. It's good that it's working, and again, what I like is that you find local products in the supermarkets and everywhere, and if a restaurant start promoting it. And I can share after if you want different restaurants and different places where you can go and you can enjoy, and they're local, and they will even have like good, cheap gourmet, not very expensive gourmet style, only with local products.
Yeah, I'm sure answering to your question that Cyprus for a long time will be able to keep this healthy food production, because again, it's small and it allows people actually to grow their own healthy stuff. And I know that a lot of people like you yourself move here for a healthy lifestyle and for the Mediterranean diet. So again, it's very important that now is a trend for people to look after their health, to look after their body, because at the end, this is the only asset that you can truly keep and use.
And it's a trend, longevity.
So longevity is a trend, yes, absolutely everywhere in the world, and people now spend so much money to use all this new technology, but I believe that Cyprus gives you already half of it because of the fresh air, yes, swimming every day, eating healthy Mediterranean diet food. So again, we come to the point that this is one of the reasons that makes it a livable city. Yes. And thank you for your question. And you confirmed our guess that German people choose Paphos, yes, for living.
Yes. But because we ran out of time, I would love to talk more. So anyone who wants to ask us anything or have a chat, we can definitely take it off stage.
We are open for more questions.
Yes, so we'll have the next one to come.
Thank you so much for your attention.